All right, you guys, I think we are streaming. If somebody can give me a thumbs up that's in Facebook and let me know that it's working, that's awesome. Thank you. All right, so welcome to our third episode of our wellness, our stories of wellness. And it is my privilege and honor to be able to host this tonight. My name is Kelly Hulst. I am a pharmacist up in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I consider myself to be a proud skeptic, or was a proud skeptic of these products at the time, because of course I was trained in medicine, which means prescriptions. And we were taught in the time that I went to school that they were the only means to wellness. And we were taught also that supplementation had no validity and was kind of voodoo in the medical community. And lo and behold, I was taught wrong. I'm not playing a blame game or anything. I'm hoping the schooling has changed. But I know that these products work after the research I have done on them, and they have helped my health, they have helped my family's health, and they're helping my friends' health. And Sharon has graciously going to come on tonight and share her story. Now, she did share her story with us a couple years ago, and it's an incredible story, and it just makes my heart so happy, because being her pharmacist, I know what kind of prescriptions she was using, and it just continues to get better and better, where she has been able to dump some prescription meds, to my joy, and I'm sure to hers as well. So we're gonna just get right down to it and let Sharon talk a bit about where she was and where she is now. Okay, so Sharon, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and let's hear it.
Okay, well, some of you have probably heard this all before, but there is one new interesting story. I'll start out with regularity. That's always been an issue for me.
And am I coming through okay? Okay. I remember even as a little tot, having such hard problems with that. And it's kind of been an issue all my life. And so Kelly got me to try the triplex. I think that's where I started. And, took care of my regularity. So here's the funny part. I had a hip replacement in October, and a week before my hip replacement, I had to stop all my supplements. And I told my doctor at my pre-op, I said, oh, this is not going to go well, because my body is so used to being regular now. Sure enough, my surgery was scheduled for Monday morning, and Saturday I was getting ready for the day, and I started having like chest pains under my rib cage on my left side. And I called my husband and I said, this has been going on like since last night and it's not getting better. What do you think? And he was out of town and he said, I think you better go to the ER. So I go to the ER, end up in the ER. They hook me up to all this stuff, and nothing is showing up on their machines. I find out that it's not showing up as like the pain I was having. It felt like a balloon expanding, right below my rib cage. Nothing was showing up on the machines. And I lay there. They kept me for observation because they said, we can't clear you for surgery unless you stay. And they ran a CT, scan of my lungs and all these tests and whatnot. So I ended up staying overnight. They let me go. Well, then I said, you know what I think it is? I think I'm getting plugged up. And so they gave me stool softeners and water, drank lots of water. Sure enough, as soon as I started going, my pain went away. So in 1 week off my supplements, my body didn't know what to do. And so long story short, I come to surgery on Monday morning. The doctor looks at me. He says, you've had an interesting weekend. I said, I sure have. I said, I thought I was going to maybe have a heart attack. And I did. I knew you guys wouldn't do surgery unless I went in. And he said, no, we wouldn't have. So anyway, even then they were skeptical to do my surgery because they thought there still could be something there. But so got back on my supplements. Everything's great again. So that is the story about regularity. The ichthyosis thing, Dottie is on the call, and she was sitting next to me at a funeral a couple of years ago, and she's also taking the Plexus products, and she said she has the same skin condition I have. So we don't exfoliate, so we kind of get scaly. And she leaned over to me, she says, "Have you noticed a change in your skin since you've been on this Plexus stuff?" And I said, "You know what? I have." And my daughter-in-law even mentioned how, how nice my skin had gotten. So that is, even, the skin condition that I have is hereditary. It's a genetic problem. It even improved that. The other thing is my thyroid medication. I have underactive thyroid. I've been on thyroid medication for years, and it just had to keep getting higher dosage as I went on. And about 2 years ago, maybe, my hair started falling out, and I went to my hairdresser. She goes, "What's going on with your hair?" And I said, "I know, it's like," she said, "it's all brittle in the back and it's falling out." And I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Thyroid." So I scheduled an appointment with my doctor. She rechecked my thyroid. She goes, "Yeah, we need to decrease your thyroid medication." That was the first thing I've ever seen that happen. It's always been an increase, increase, increase. I just had my annual exam, no increase, hanging in there. So I think my medications are absorbing better into my gut because of the Plexus products that I'm on. I should say I'm on most everything. I take the vitamins, I take the probiotics, the immune stuff, I don't know, pretty much everything. So I would say my husband has said, "You never get sick anymore. You used to get sick all the time," and I just have not gotten sick. So other than my arthritis in my hip. I've got overactive bladder, to the point where I was also getting UTIs after I got off my hormone medication as I got older, and I was getting UTIs, and my doctor said take a probiotic. So I was taking one at Walmart, and then I switched over to the Plexus one, and that has really helped. I have not had a UTI now for several years. Let's see. I have dry eye, and that has gotten a lot better with the Plexus products as well. I don't need my drops hardly at all. And then I just started taking the Lean Whey shake, the vanilla shake. I also have the chocolate, but I'm using the vanilla right now, because after my hip replacement, I wasn't moving much, and I didn't need to be eating as much, and I thought I need to get the protein still. So I do use that 2-3 times a week, just as a noon lunch supplement. And I think that's pretty much it. I did lose a little weight right off the get-go when I started. Can't say that I have any more, but I just take the Slim once a day. So maybe if I took it twice a day, I would lose a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Sharon? Go ahead and just, if you've muted yourself, unmute yourself. We've got kind of a small group, so I have no problem with that.
Sharon, are you taking the E's also?
Yes, thank you. I do take 3 E's in the morning and 3 at night because I have arthritis, and and then that inflammation in my eyes too. They say that that dry eye is inflammation. So I do take, and then I use the Ease cream as I need it. So like if I'm gardening, or walk too much or do something too much and it aggravates. I have back issues, so I do have that is available to take as needed. And yes, Marla just posted, am I taking the Joyome? Yes, I do use the Joyome skin products as well. The collagen and the night cream and the day cream.
I was looking back at your history because I do like to chart what people get. So if you get a new product, I can reach out and see how it's going, or if you had questions. And I saw too that you started on just the triplex, which is where most people start. And just slowly over time, about 3 months in, yep, you're adding something and then adding something else. And I think we all kind of go down that route. I was going to be one of these people that I was never going to be on all of them. Never. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And lo and behold, we're on all of it. Between Scott and I, we're on all of the products. And I think that just gives to the validity of the products and the effectiveness of the products and our trust in the company as a whole for releasing products that do what they claim to do. Yeah, clean and safe. So it's very encouraging. But I was looking too on when we talked about this, how many years ago? 3 years ago. And you had on your health goals, weight loss and thyroid issues. And there was one more thing. Oh yeah, the overactive bladder. And kind of like me too, I had one goal. It was constipation. And that was taken care of. But my point is that many things start improving, even though you didn't really consider that an issue at the time, right? There were focused things that if it works for this, I'm a believer. If it works for this, I'll buy in. But over time and consistency is where supplementation differs, which is so cool, because adding up these small wins, which you're probably seeing all over social media too, these small wins add up to really big wins. And I think Dottie can attest to that too. I've seen before and after pictures of her legs. What did they call you? Crocodile legs or alligator legs or something like that?
My brothers called me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw the pictures and it's like,
it's worse in women. I have a brother too, and he doesn't show any of that symptom, but all of us girls in the family have it.
Well, I didn't have sisters, so I just had 2 brothers to pick on me. But ever since I was young, like Sharon said, I had dry skin. I had severe eczema when I was a young child and up through my teen years. And I don't have that anymore, thankfully. But yeah, and like Sharon said, I didn't even know that was going to be a thing to get fixed with Plexus until she and I met at this funeral at church. And I mentioned it because that's what I noticed on my skin. And like Kelly said, I had sent her before and after pictures shortly after I started using it. So yeah, it's amazing. And I had constipation was an issue too, but I had suffered with it for so long that I didn't even consider it an issue. It was just the way my life was. And then when you start getting regular again, it's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Yeah.
And when
I'm really thankful for that.
When the doctor told me at my appointment when I was having the UTI, I said, what do? We go back on hormones? And she said, no, we really can't do that because of your age. But she said, probiotic and is something to try. And for a doctor to say probiotic,
that's encouraging. That is encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought was interesting, Sharon, that you mentioned before your hip surgery, and I had knee replacement surgery in August, and I called Kelly because they said you have to be off all your supplements. And I said, Kelly, what am I going to do? They want me to be off all my supplements. How can these plant-based products be an issue? I just could not believe it. And of course, when you go to the doctor and they say, what products are you on? And I tell them Plexus, or I tell them exactly what it is. They are clueless. They don't even know most of the time.
But you know what? When I went to the urologist recently for my bladder, because I'm having this knee replace or a hip replacement. I don't want to. I get up 2-3 times to go to the bathroom at night, and just to see if there's something they could do. And I was telling her how that the Plexus products had helped me with that feeling of having a UTI that I always had. And she goes, I've heard that from a lot of people. So that was a urology department saying they are getting those stories from various people too, that the Plexus products are helping their bladder in some shape or fashion. So
That is
good.
encouraging. Very, very encouraging. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Another funny story, when I was in for observation, I had this nurse come to my bedside, and I think I had taken my makeup off by that time, and I was laying in bed, and she comes up, she goes, "You have the prettiest skin. What do you use?"
I remember you telling me that.
Plexus. So I said, "I have the name of somebody if you're interested." I can.
Oh gosh.
So I mean, it's kind of comical how it comes up in
Yes,
different
yes,
places.
it is. Yes, it is. Oh, shoot. Can you speak on how Brian is doing?
Well, he is using the block. My husband he just is barely diabetic, just like over the edge.
Mhm.
And his doctor, said, let's try diet and exercise. He isn't doing exercise part, but he is using the plexus block. And he hasn't had his checkup this year yet. I think it's coming up in February. But so far, he's not needed to go on any medication. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that speaks to when you can use a product that is going to block the absorption of those additional carbs and sugars that we just intake in our regular diets. That can make a difference. And of course, the slim drink, I thought he had tried that too, and then he just wasn't
yeah,
consistent, right?
he's just not consistent with it. His
Yeah.
schedule is just, he's like
Yeah.
a kid, it's not important. So to him,
Yeah.
at this point anyway, maybe that'll change, but
Yeah. Well, that
Kelly, can I add one more thing?
he is.
I just, you're on these products for a while and you forget problems that you had. I do anyway. And I started on the Mega X, and my cholesterol has been, ever since I went through the change, my cholesterol has gone sky high. And I've never been told by a doctor to go on medicine. And it was probably a good thing, because I would have told him, no, I'm not going to. But anyway, I started taking the Mega X, and after, I want to say it was maybe 6 months after I started taking it, that it was time for my annual checkup with the blood work, and my complete number, not the HDL or the LDL, but my full cholesterol number was down 40 points,
Yeah.
which I thought was huge.
Yeah.
Because I'd never had that happen before. And now when I go in, and now I have to have a new doctor because my other one left, and they say something about it. I said, you know what? I'm not going to go on it. I'm taking Mega X. It's working great. My numbers have been down, and I feel great. So that's another thing that has really benefited me. And I'm religious about taking that. I don't ever miss that.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, time and consistency, I cannot repeat it enough. And I think a lot of us notice the effectiveness of a product, like Sharon is talking, when you go without. You're right. Your body is used to getting those plant-based supplements, a supplement being a supplement to our diet, but our body will break those down and utilize those. And that's again why we have to be so consistent. It's not like it builds up in your bloodstream and you have this big window, this big half-life of a drug where it's going to hang around for a week, for 2 weeks or whatever. That's not how it works. So yeah.
But I would say though, I don't, what do they have, a 60-day money back guarantee?
Yes.
For me, I would say it took a year probably before I really started feeling the full, maybe not with the constipation issues, but the other stuff,
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
it takes, people want a quick fix, and a
Yep.
lot of this is, it takes time for your body to absorb and
Yep.
get it figured out.
Yep, it does. You have to be ready to commit. Otherwise, you're really wasting your money until you're ready to commit. And I think too, get educated about it, because it's not mainstream. It's not out there unless you're looking for it, right? You can Google gut health and anything, and something's going to come up. There's studies out there. There's information out there, but you're the one who has to be searching. It's not being fed to us. At least I don't see it being fed to me.
Yeah.
Usually it's something coming from Dottie. Like even this morning,
Mhm.
she'll send me an article. She's like, this is really good. You need to read this. And it's
Yeah,
all
I've had that. I've sent you a couple over time too
Yes,
when I'm
you
doing
have.
something, and it's all about gut health.
Yes. And it just makes me so happy because this is what everybody needs to be doing. It's educating, continuing to learn about what the products are and what they are not, so that's important too. Yeah. Does anyone else want to share anything? All right. All right. Fair enough. Well, I just want to talk a little bit about the reset. Okay. Very small amount because we've been hitting that a lot, but I think just the importance of that reset. I don't know who all has done the reset or has been curious about doing the reset, or maybe you're on your third or fourth or fifth reset. But it is so much more than just a weight loss tool. And of course, Plexus is a tool in and of itself, but the reset in actually resetting your metabolism so your body is burning fat for fuel rather than burning the carbs and the sugars that we're intaking all the time, because we stop those cravings for the carbs and the sugars after being on this for 3 days, just because of what it's putting into our bodies. So I highly encourage you to get a little more educated on that. Even if weight loss is not what you're looking for, it's still going to be really beneficial for your health picture. And here's where I'll pitch my YouTube channel. If you want to see videos on it, you can just search my name in YouTube and pull up. I've done a couple different videos on the reset just recently that'll give you a little bit better breakdown on how that all works. But